guys, it is Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Great song for you today. We're going to learn how to play Queen's 39, written by Brian May. So this is mostly based off of kind of his solo acoustic performances he does of it. Except not with all the extra layers and stuff that they little guitar harmonies and stuff on the original recording. So this is basically based off of how he's played it ever since then. So usually live, it's just him with an acoustic guitar and stuff. So I'll link the video that I'm kind of basing this lesson off of, so you'll know. And obviously he's using a 12-string guitar, of which I do not own one. So it's not going to sound as full. And there's a couple of parts where you'll hear some notes. You're like, why isn't that note there? If you're familiar with this performance, at least. And I'll let you know, because it's that note's on a 12-string. It's not on my 6-string, but it still sounds great. A lot of fast chords moving around, so we got our kind of work cut out for us here. So before we do it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring the little notification bell so you'll know when I release a new video. And check out my Guitar Academy. It's at GuitarLessons365.com. You'll see the link below. It contains all my guitar courses, improvisation, ear training, guitar tone, guitar technique, all many different styles. So we've got a great community of people over there in the academy. We do live chats every week, so it's a lot of cool stuff. So please come over and join us if you haven't already. So let's start here. I'm in standard tuning, obviously just on a 6-string here, and we have that intro that I just did, which kind of moves around quite a bit. So we're going to start here with this. It's a G major chord. So you play like a G major chord, but don't hit the note on the low E string. Just have the B in the bass. So it's in first inversion when you do that. So you hit the chord, and you're really kind of accenting that low note, so you can really hear that. Because that's where the melody is right now. So it is. And when you hit it again, you hammer onto the 2nd fret there on the A. And then it takes us to a D major chord. So we have this. So you hear that. And then what he does is he goes to an E minor chord, but he really kind of just, you're really kind of want to get this melody moving around. So he's really accenting the note on the D string and maybe the G and the B with it. He's not really in this huge full chorus with us. So we have this E minor. So that's 2nd fret there on the D and the open G and the B. And then you're going to pick it and slide up to the 4th fret there. And resolve that to a C major chord. So this. So far we have this. And then we go to a G chord. Now this G is going to be, the way he plays his G major chords throughout this track is you almost want to think of it, except for the chorus, which kind of uses one strict version of the G. When the last chord in a progression where when it kind of resolves down, you'll use the full G chord where we have, we're using all 4 fingers. We're both full G chords, but so basically when you have the 3rd fret there on the B, that's usually when he's just kind of resolving it down. But when you hear it in like the middle of a verse or middle of the pre-chorus and stuff, you're hearing this G. You're going to hear it with the open B string, so you're going to pick up that note on the B string. Alright, so here he's doing that. When you hear that G, he plays that G with the open B string, and then we do a little fill. Now here, the fact that he's on a 12-string guitar, you really hear it. You hear hear that. But what's happening is that this note is being doubled an octave with the G string. With the two strings there. One of them's an octave higher, and that's where you're hearing that note. But what he's actually physically doing, if you play this on a 12-string bass, it'll sound correct. But you're going to pull off 3 to 0 on the B, and then 2 to 0 on the G. Okay, so that'll give it that sound. That's difficult to do if you want to actually do it like. But anyway, here we go. Alright, from there we go to a D chord. And then to a C major. And then while he's strumming the C, he does a little that's a little movement to it by lifting up the note on the D string and hammering back down on that 2. So open D and hammer 2. And we're back to that G. So the first half of the intro. Now we start over. It's pretty similar at the beginning, second half of this verse. So when we get to this C now, we're going to finish it to take us to the verse. So we strum the C a little bit, and then you make it a C major 7 by just picking up the first finger, so it's going to be the open B string. And then we go to a D major chord, and that D, and then you really want to hear the open G string, then the 4th fret there on the D. And that resolves to the full G. So all together for the intro. Now we get to the verse. I don't really know the lyrics, so I'm going to be humming a lot. Alright, so a little bit easier play. So it's just pretty basic chords. D major to an E minor, into a C and a G and a D. So that G, remember in the middle, it's kind of in the middle of this riff here. It's the B string open version. So. Now the second half of the verse, you go to E minor. Slight difference there. You hear an E minor first, and then he picks up the note that's on the D string to make that an E minor 7. So and resolve that to a C. So we have this. Then we go to a D sus4. So what this is just a D major chord, but you're going to add now the note on the 3rd fret there on the high E string, that G. So that's going to make it a D suspended 4. And then you resolve it to the normal D major to a full G. So the whole verse. right, now we get to the pre-chorus, which is probably my favorite chord progression in the song. Let's do this. Takes us to the chorus. All right, so that at the end there it moves pretty quick. It's basic open chords, but still they move quick if you're not if you can't really nail them easy. So we have this D major to a B dominant 7. Beautiful. So that D major. That B7 is going to be the second fret there on the A, first fret there on the D, second fret there on the G, open B, and the second fret there on the high E. So from that D major, then it goes to an E minor, much easier chord to play. And then we have a little. So it's based off an E minor. Strum that a couple times. Then move the melody note up. We're going to play a melody this here at the 4th fret on the D string. A couple of little down up on just the open treble strings. And then up to the 5th fret there on the D. So it is. So far. Then it takes it to an A minor chord. So it's basic A minor chord. And you're going to hear that little maneuver in there where he makes it an A suspended in second and then back to the A minor. Easy thing to do though. A minor, you just lift up the note that's on the finger that's on the B string and then put it back down. Then over to G. Remember it's the G with the open B string. To a D. And this is when the chorus chords move very faster. Each one just hit real quick once. And he has an interesting way of playing the E minor here, which I don't do. So it's a C major to an E minor. Now you'll see him play it. He'll just literally bar his middle finger across those two notes. I just play with the normal way. So we have C. It's the same notes. It's just like he's got fingers that he can do that easily with. C to E minor. Then C to D major. Then C to G. And then quickly jump straight to that D chord again. So we have this. And you strum on that G to kind of set up the chorus. So I'll play through the chorus real quick in the pre-chorus again. Alright, now we get to the chorus. A lot going on there. Alright, so we have, this is where we're playing a full G, for most of this at least. So we have just that full, I say full G, all four fingers. So add that D note in there. So it is, can't you hear? G to a C. And when you go to the C major chord, keep that note there on the 3rd fret on the high E string. So it just goes, can't you hear? So it's just between C and G and C a couple of times, and then it goes to the D. So can't you hear? And here, after the D, we really start moving through the chorus pretty quick. It looks like this. So we have that G major, and then that B7 to an E minor, and then that same thing that we did earlier, just moving it down to an E minor 7 by lifting up that note on the D string. So we have this, E minor 7, and then it goes to a C, and then a G with a B in the bass, like we started the song with, that chord, to an A minor. So from the G again, can't you? I'm sorry. And then we have this little figure at the very end of the chorus, looks like this. So we have that, it starts with this, it's like the beginning, the very beginning of the track, but he's doing the open string B version of the G. With that. So it's still G with the B in the bass. Same little hammer from 2 to 3 on the A. And then we go to the D chord. Then 2 to 4 on the D. You can hammer or pick them. And then resolve it to the G with the 3rd fret there on the B. So it is. Back to the verse. Same chords. Same chords as before. Same chords in the pre-chorus. Back to the chorus. So it's the same chorus before. The chorus is repeated twice though, this towards the end of the song. So so the only difference is there's a D chord added at the end. So when we do that chorus ending the first time, basically the second time you hear the chorus in the song, it's played twice. But the ending of that first time through there, of that ending chorus, what we just did, that G, then it quickly goes to a D to set up a return to start the chorus over. And then the second chorus is a little shorter. So the second time through the chorus, this is the last chorus in the song that we said was repeated twice. So the second of those two. When you get to that A minor, there, you're gonna just strum it and just chill out for a second. And then we just have an easy E minor, D, G. That kind of ends it. So from right there, that. Alright, and then he closes out the track by playing the second half of the intro. So if you remember the intro, we did this. That was the first half of it, and then it started the second half. So it's just that part starting from that second half of it. C major to C major 7 to the D. Alright, so it's a great track if you can get all those lyrics down and all these little crazy things going on with the guitar chord. I mean, it flies by pretty quick. It's quite the challenge. That's why I'm not even attempting the lyrics, man. I gotta read the lyrics and the chord chart. Oh, forget that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.